Today we're going to take a look at the strongest ground smash attack for Town Hall 10. It's going to be the 3 golems with the witches and the bowlers. For the hero equipment, if you don't have any epics, you can use the earthquake boots with the rage vial or with the vamp stash, whichever of those you prefer. I do not recommend the barbarian puppet. I can also use the spiky ball here. That's what I recommend if you have it. If not, you can just use one of these others. I'll use just common equipments so you guys can see how the attack goes with those. And then for the Archer Queen, you can just use her standard equipment here. If you have any of her epics, they are fantastic. You can go ahead and use those with that. Let's jump into an attack. All right, so the main things that you're going to be looking for, first of all, you look at the Inferno Towers. We got a multi here and a single, so we're going to go at the multi side to try and get it down sooner. You don't really want to leave a multi Inferno on the back end if you can help it. And then the main thing that you're just looking to do is set a funnel. That's going to be the most important thing. So what we're going to start with, start a golem here. You can do just 1 or 2 witches and then a couple of bowlers. They'll set that funnel. And then do the same thing on the opposite corner as well. Do 2 witches, 2 bowlers, and then that'll get the other side of the funnel set. And then once those are going, then you can start the push that's going to go down the middle. You get your golem, get your heroes, your witches, the rest of your bowlers, trickle in your wall breakers, get your log launcher in, and then you've got your poison ready as well for the CC troops. Let's go ahead and poison that balloon, get it out of here. And then the rest of the troops will be able to get through the Lava Hound and the pups here relatively quickly. Got to pop the king kind of early here, which isn't ideal, but there we go. Get a rage in the core for the CC. All right, we got the bowlers coming out. That's working out nicely. Let's heal over here. The troops will be moving into that. We can jump over here as well. So we're just kind of guiding the troops through the base as best as we can here. And we'll go ahead and rage up these bowlers. That balloon being a bit of a nuisance there, but there we go. We're able to get through. And we're going to freeze up splash buildings. We can actually freeze up the expo there. And we'll freeze that wizard tower. Actually, we don't need to. The wizard tower is going to go to the golems, and that's going to be a 3-star. There's not really a whole lot else to get through here. We'll pop the queen's ability. And we'll spawn in some archers, give her a little extra damage. And I don't think we even really need to freeze, but we're just going to throw the freeze down. That's going to be a 3-star, able to push through the base relatively well. Let's jump into another replay. All right, so for this base, it is tempting to go straight at the multi-inferno, but you're not going to get as much value out of your wall wrecker that way. So we're still going to go kind of multi-inferno side, but we're going to angle it more towards this top section. So we're going to get to the multi early, but we're going to also try to get a bit more value out of the wall wrecker. No log launchers yet. Soon though. We're just going to do 1 witch and a couple of bowlers here. I think that's going to be sufficient. And that'll give us more witches down the middle. Same thing up here. We don't really need as much on those edges. Actually, let's go ahead and add 1 more witch just to make sure those trash buildings get taken care of here. And let's get that going. The wall wrecker. Remember to trickle in some wall breakers to get the first few walls open, because it does take the wall wrecker a little bit of time to get everything in, and just spam everything else in behind, and then the funnel should do the rest of the work for you here. Do an early rage. That wall open, beautiful. Everything's moving in. We can also heal going into this multi-inferno. That'll take a lot of that damage off of these troops. Got the CC coming through to deal with as well. Do that and that. Let's get the poison over that balloon. You don't want that balloon doing too much damage to your troops here. Freeze the enemy king. Let's throw the skellies on the single inferno. Make sure it's not locking onto the king. Freeze the multi. Let these bowlers get through. Boom. And there you go. So the first main thing you're looking for is setting a funnel. The other thing is just making sure that you manage your spells properly. So look for where you need to put the spells in. Guide your troops through the middle of the base. It can be a little bit tricky, but with practice, it'll come relatively easily. We still have the queen's ability to use here on the back end of the base. We got a couple of golems that are going to that mortar. Would be nice if they went up to the top right as well. But they'll eventually make their way up there. This is going to be a triple regardless. It's just going to take a little bit of time. We'll skip to the end of the attack and then move on to the last one. So this one could be a little bit tricky because of the way the base is set up, and you got that multi kind of smack dab in the middle. But if you go closer to the multi here, you've got great pathing for the wall wrecker to push right through the middle of the base. It's not going to be terribly difficult to set up the funnel here. So we'll get the funnel set, move everything down the middle, and then it should be pretty smooth sailing from there. So let's get this going. Let's go. That outside cannon's pulling my golem away, but it should be fine. He'll come back. Let's get everything else put in here, and we'll be good to go. Let's do that. Freeze that for now. Okay. Probably do a little heal here as well. Just because you do have that multi, you do have that balloon floating around. Go ahead and get a poison on that balloon to get it taken down. Never underestimate how much that one balloon can do. Kind of the same for the pups. They can be quite tedious as well. We'll rage here, jump through the back end of the base. I should have linked it to the outside so they didn't get stuck in that compartment, but it's okay. Let's go ahead and freeze the single. It's locked onto the king. Of all things, it locks onto the king. Alright, but it's fine. We'll pop the king's ability. That's going to open up these last few compartments for us. You throw in the skelly for distraction, just for good measure. We got tons of troops left over. It's absolutely crushed. And we will skip to the end of the attack. And there we go. We can see this attack is very strong. Look at all the troops left over as it wraps up for the 3-star. That's going to be a wrap for this video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. And if you want to see more Clash of Clans content from me, I recommend checking out one of these videos right here.